Have you noticed it? Every time life finally feels steady, you pick a fight. Every time love feels calm, you chase someone who makes it complicated. Every time success is within reach, you pull the plug. You don't call it sabotage. You call it normal. But what if this normal is really an addiction to chaos? I'm Dr. Miles Gray, and this is MindShift Note. Here, we dig beneath the surface to unearth the hidden patterns that shape your life. And today, we're facing one of the hardest truths. Peace doesn't feel safe for everyone. For some of us, chaos is home by the end of this episode. You'll not only understand why you keep gravitating toward chaos, but also how to finally break free from it. Let's slow this down for a moment. Because before you can break free, you have to name what's happening. Chaos addiction isn't a clinical diagnosis you'll find in the DSM, but make no mistake, it's real. It's the hidden thread running through relationships that burn bright and crash fast, careers that start strong and collapse under pressure, and personal lives that swing from one crisis to the next. So what exactly is it? At its core, chaos. Addiction is an unconscious pull toward instability. It's the need for drama, intensity, and unpredictability, not because you consciously enjoy it, but because your body has learned to need it. Think about it this way: the friend who says they're done with toxic partners, only to date the same type of person again and again. The professional who gets a good job, but can't stop picking fights with their boss or coworkers until they're forced to quit. The student who waits until the very last second to study, racing against time, their heart pounding, almost as if the adrenaline is the only thing keeping them focused. On the surface, these look like bad choices, but underneath, these are nervous systems that crave intensity. And here's the paradox: chaos addiction rarely feels like an addiction. It feels like home. Because calm feels boring. Stillness feels uncomfortable. Peace feels suspicious, like the silence before a storm. That's why when things finally settle, some people start picking at old wounds. They bring up arguments that don't need to be revisited. They find ways to create tension where none exists, not because they want to be miserable, but because their body doesn't recognize peace as safe. It's important to pause here, because if you've lived this cycle, you've probably asked yourself, why do I keep doing this? Why can't I just enjoy stability? The truth is, it's not about enjoyment. It's about familiarity. See, an alcoholic doesn't drink because the hangover feels good. A gambler doesn't keep betting because losing feels good. They're hooked on the cycle, the rush, the spike, the crash. Chaos works the same way. The body learns to crave the cortisol spike of conflict, the adrenaline surge of disaster, the dopamine drip of surviving one more storm. And over time, calm stops feeling like relief. It feels wrong. That's why healthy relationships get sabotaged. That's why success feels unbearable until you ruin it. That's why silence, instead of bringing rest, brings panic. Chaos isn't just something that happens to you. It's something you've been unconsciously trained to seek. And until you see that clearly, we'll keep calling it normal. Part 2. The nervous system connection. If chaos feels normal, the question is, why? Why does your mind say you want peace, while your body drags you back into storms? The answer lies in your nervous system. See, your brain isn't just a thinker. It's a survival machine. Every experience you've ever had, every fight, every loss, every slammed door, every late-night argument has been logged into your nervous system like code written into a computer. When you grow up in chaos, your body adapts. If your childhood was filled with yelling, unpredictable moods, constant instability, your nervous system learned to expect it. More than that, it learned to depend on it. Think about it. A child who grows up in a home where love feels inconsistent, where safety is fragile, doesn't learn to relax. They learn to scan. They learn to listen for the sound of footsteps, the slam of a door, the tone of a parent's voice. That child's body is marinated in stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. Those chemicals are meant to give you a rush of energy in emergencies. But when emergencies are constant, the body becomes addicted to the spike. Fast forward 20 years, and that same child now, an adult, finds themselves restless in calm situations. Their partner treats them kindly, but it feels strange. Their job runs smoothly, but they stir up drama. Not because they want to, but because their nervous system literally doesn't know how to exist without chaos. Here's the science. Adrenaline gives you that electric jolt, faster heart rate, quicker reflexes. It feels like excitement. Cortisol keeps you alert, scanning for danger, braced for the next hit. Together, they create a state where your body feels alive in crisis and numb in peace. In other words, chaos doesn't just feel familiar, it feels rewarding. Researchers have found that chronic stress literally rewires the brain. The amygdala, the fear center, becomes overactive. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that plans, calms, and reasons, goes offline under stress. That means if you've lived with chaos long enough, your brain may actually confuse peace with danger. Calm feels like waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's why some people panic when things go well. They feel safest bracing for impact, because that's what their nervous system was trained for. And here's the kicker. Once your body associates chaos with survival, it will unconsciously pull you back toward it. Even when your mind says, "I want peace," your body whispers, "But peace is unsafe." This is why you might find yourself checking your phone obsessively, chasing drama on social media, or picking fights in relationships that are perfectly fine. It's not that you enjoy pain, it's that pain feels familiar. And familiar feels safe. Think of it like this. If you spend years sleeping in a noisy apartment above a nightclub, your body adapts. The music, the shouting, the chaos, it becomes your baseline. Then one day, you move to a quiet neighborhood. You lie down in bed, and suddenly, the silence is unbearable. You can't sleep. Your body is restless, waiting for the noise. That's what happens inside you. Chaos became your baseline. Peace feels foreign. So when people ask, "Why do I always end up in messy situations?" the answer is simple. Your nervous system is chasing the noise it was trained to expect. This is not weakness. This is biology. And biology, thankfully, can be rewired. Part 3. Family and childhood roots. We really want to understand why chaos feels normal. We have to look backward. Because chaos addiction doesn't begin in adulthood. It usually begins in childhood. Here's the hard truth. What you call normal is almost always what you grew up with. Think back to your earliest memories of home. Was it a place of calm or constant tension? Did love feel steady or unpredictable? Were you seen and heard, or silenced and ignored? Children are sponges. They don't just absorb information, they absorb atmosphere. If your parents were always fighting, if money was always short, if affection was given and then snatched away, your nervous system didn't. Just notice it adapted to it. That's the cruel trick of childhood. Whatever you grew up in becomes your definition of home, even if home was chaos. Let me give you an example. Imagine a child growing up in a house where one parent drinks too much. Some nights, that parent is loving, funny, full of life. Other nights, they're angry, unpredictable, even dangerous. The child learns quickly. Stay on guard, don't relax. Read every shift in tone, every flicker of mood. Fast forward 20 years. That child is now an adult. They date someone calm, steady, consistent, and at first, it feels good, but then, it feels strange. almost boring. Subconsciously, their body whispers, "This isn't love." Love is supposed to feel like walking on eggshells. Love is supposed to keep you guessing. And so, without even realizing it, they sabotage the healthy relationship. They drift back to partners who are unpredictable, moody, dramatic. Because, deep down, that's what love feels like. Here's the brutal irony. The very chaos that wounded you becomes the chaos you seek. It's not because you want pain. It's because the brain would rather cling to the familiar than face the unknown. This is why so many people repeat. Generational patterns. The daughter who swore she'd never marry a man like her father finds herself married to his shadow. The son who promised he'd never lose his temper like his mother finds himself yelling at his kids in the same way. The person who swore they'd escape dysfunction recreates it in their own home. Not because they're cursed, not because they're weak, but because the nervous system interprets familiarity as safety. And here's something even deeper. Children who grow up in chaos often mistake intensity for intimacy. If love came wrapped in conflict, yelling, or constant unpredictability, then calm laugh feels empty. Real intimacy feels flat. Peace feels lifeless. So as adults, they seek the rush, the tension, the drama, because to them, that's what closeness feels like. Let me make this concrete. A healthy partner calls you back when they say they will. They treat you kindly. They're steady. At first, you enjoy it. But then a voice creeps in. This is too easy. Something must be wrong. Where's the spark? Meanwhile, the toxic partner, the one who disappears for days, then comes back. With flowers and apologies, makes your heart race. It feels passionate, addictive, unforgettable. But it's not passion. It's your nervous system confusing chaos with love. The same thing happens outside of relationships. In work, someone who grew up in instability may unconsciously sabotage stable jobs, procrastinate until the last minute, or thrive only under pressure. In friendships, they may gravitate toward people who gossip, fight, and stir drama because calm friends feel dull. In self-image, they may only feel alive when something is wrong, when there's a crisis to fix, a fire to put out, a storm to survive. This is why breaking the cycle of chaos feels almost impossible. You're not just fighting habits, you're fighting the blueprint of your childhood. And here's the hardest part. For many, the moment life finally becomes stable, the body screams, "This isn't safe." And so, the cycle repeats. But let me tell you this, recognizing this truth, seeing that your normal was chaos, is the first crack in the cycle. Because once you see it clearly, you can begin to question it. You can begin to ask, what? If peace isn't dangerous, what if calm isn't boring? What if love doesn't have to hurt? And those questions are the seeds of healing. Asterisk, asterisk, part 4. Why peace feels uncomfortable. V talked about how chaos becomes familiar. But here's the other side of it. Peace itself can feel deeply uncomfortable. Sounds strange, right? Everyone says they want peace. Everyone says they crave stability. But when it finally arrives, when life slows down, when there's no fight to fight, no drama to chase, why does it feel like something's wrong? Let me paint the picture. You're in a relationship where no one's yelling, no one's slamming doors. Your partner is consistent, calm, present. They love you without conditions. And yet, instead of relaxing, you feel restless. Instead of gratitude, you feel suspicious. Instead of calm, you feel this gnawing itch. When is the other shoe going to drop? Or imagine you finally land a steady job. No crises, no toxic boss breathing down your neck. Just structure, support, predictability. And instead of breathing easier, you find yourself procrastinating, stirring up problems, or secretly scrolling job boards again. Why does this happen? Here's the truth. If your nervous system was trained to live in survival mode, peace feels like danger. See, chaos keeps you busy. When there's always a problem to solve, always a conflict to manage, always a fire to put out, to don't have to sit with yourself. You don't have to face silence. You don't have to feel the emptiness you've been running from. Peace removes the distractions. It strips away the noise. And suddenly, you're left with yourself, your feelings, your fears, your unhealed wounds. That's why peace can trigger panic. Because stillness forces you to face the very things chaos helped you avoid. Think about how many people you know who can't sit in silence. The moment the room gets quiet, they reach for their phone. They turn on the TV. They call someone, scroll something, or start an argument. Anything to avoid the silence. Why? Because silence is a mirror. And not everyone wants to see their reflection now. Let's bring in the science. When you're used to chaos, your brain develops something psychologists call hypervigilance. That means your nervous system is always scanning for threats, always bracing for the next impact. So when peace finally comes, when there's no threat to scan for, your body doesn't celebrate. It panics because calm feels unfamiliar. And unfamiliar feels unsafe. Think of it like a soldier returning from war. Out on the battlefield, every sound matters. Every rustle in the dark could be danger. The body is wired for constant alertness. Then they come home to a quiet suburb, safe, peaceful, and yet they can't sleep. The silence feels unbearable. The safety feels like a trap. That's what happens when you've lived in chaos. Peace doesn't register as safety. It registers as suspicious. This is why so many people ruin their own stability. Not consciously, but unconsciously. They pick a fight with their partner just to feel that spark of intensity again. They procrastinate at work until the deadline becomes a crisis, because only then do they feel alive. They chase drama on social media, binge shows filled with conflict, or immerse themselves in toxic friendships because calm friends, calm evenings, calm routines feel boring. But here's the secret. Boring is often just your body detoxing from chaos. Boring. Is your nervous system learning what safety feels like? Boring is the silence that makes space for healing. Yet because your wiring equates calm with danger, you push it away. You stir the pot. You manufacture storms. Not because you want to suffer, but because suffering feels normal. Here's the kicker. Until you redefine what peace feels like, your nervous system will keep rejecting it. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine you've been living in a house next to train tracks for 20 years. Every night, a freight train roars by at 2 a.m. At first, it keeps you awake, but eventually, your body adapts. The rumble, the shaking, the noise, it becomes your lullaby. Then one day, you move to a quiet neighborhood. No trains, no noise, just silence. And suddenly, you can't sleep. The very silence that should bring rest feels unbearable. That's what peace feels like to someone raised in chaos. Silence feels louder than noise. Stillness feels heavier than storms. So if peace feels uncomfortable to you, you're not alone. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you don't deserve calm. It's because your nervous system hasn't yet learned what peace feels like. And here's the hope. Just as your body once adapted to chaos, it can also adapt to calm. But first, you have to notice the discomfort. You have to stop calling it boring and start recognizing it as detox. Because what you call boring today may actually be the very thing your soul has been starving for. Part: signs you're addicted to chaos. By now, you might be wondering, is this really me? Am I actually addicted to chaos? It's not always obvious. Chaos addiction doesn't always look like screaming fights or burning your life down. Sometimes it's quieter, subtler, but the signs are there. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Let's go through some of the most common ones. 1. You feel restless when life is calm, when things are finally going well. Instead of enjoying the peace, you feel uneasy. You may even start inventing problems. A small issue at work suddenly feels like a mountain. A harmless comment from your partner turns into an argument. It's not that you want conflict. Stillness feels foreign too. You sabotage healthy relationships. You've said it before. I just want someone stable, someone kind, someone who doesn't play games. But then, when that person shows up, you pull away. You feel bored. You say the spark isn't there. And so you drift back to the dramatic partner, the one who keeps you guessing, keeps you chasing, keeps your nervous system firing. Point 3. You only work well under pressure. Deadlines don't motivate you until the very last minute. You wait until the tension is unbearable, your body flooded with adrenaline. Then suddenly you're on fire, focused, sharp, alive. It's not that you can't be productive earlier, it's that your body is hooked on the adrenaline rush of crisis. 4. You're drawn to toxic people. Healthy.com/grounded people feel dull to you. You may even write them off as too nice or too boring. But the unpredictable friend, the dramatic coworker, the chaotic partner, they feel magnetic. Their highs and lows feel addictive. Because intensity feels like connection even when it's destruction. 5. You pick fights without realizing it. Ever notice how sometimes you push buttons, stir up tension, or say something sharp just to see a reaction? You don't plan it, but part of you craves the spark, the argument, the energy in the air. It's not about cruelty, it's about needing the nervous system jolt that comes from conflict. 6. You chase drama. Even from a distance. Maybe you're not blowing up your own life, but you're glued to chaos somewhere else. You binge reality shows filled with arguments. You scroll social media for scandals. You involve yourself in gossip. You consume other people's storms because their chaos feeds your own nervous system's hunger. 7. You struggle to rest. Feels impossible. Silence feels loud. A calm Saturday afternoon feels unbearably. Need to do something. Even when your body is exhausted, your mind keeps racing, looking for stimulation. That's not laziness. That's your system resisting peace. 8. You mistake intensity for intimacy. This one is huge. If love hasn't hurt, hasn't been complicated, hasn't been unstable, you question if it's even real. The roller coaster of highs and lows feels like passion. The calm consistency of true intimacy feels flat. But here's the truth. Passion without peace isn't love, it's chaos. 9. You live in survival mode even when nothing is wrong. You feel like something's about to happen. You're scanning the room, checking your phone, bracing for bad news. You can't relax into joy because your body is conditioned to expect pain. If any of these sound like you, take a breath. Asterisk, because recognizing yourself here doesn't mean you're doomed. It means you're waking up. The signs are not there to shame you. Asterisk. They're there to help you see that what you've been calling normal is actually a nervous system stuck in survival mode. And here's the key. What feels comfortable is not always what's good for you. Familiar doesn't always mean safe. Sometimes familiar is just chaos in disguise. Now, I want to pause here and say this. If you saw yourself in more than one of these signs, don't panic. This is not a life sentence. Asterisk, remember your nervous system was trained to live in chaos. But what's been trained can also be retrained, and that's where the breakthrough comes in. Asterisk, because once you understand the biology, once you see the roots, you can start the work of rewiring your body for peace. But first, we need to explore something deeper. Asterisk, why does chaos feel so magnetic? Why do we chase it, even when we know it hurts us? For that, we have to talk about the cycle and how the addiction keeps itself alive. Part 6. Breaking the cycle. By now, you understand the pattern. Chaos feels normal. Peace feels strange. Your nervous system is wired for storms, not stillness. But here's the truth I need you to hold on to. What was wired in can be rewired. Your attraction to chaos is not your destiny. It's a pattern, and patterns can be broken. So how do you begin? Let's walk through it. 1. Awareness is the first crack in the cycle. You can't change what you refuse to see. And up until now, chaos has been invisible, just normal life. But the moment you name it, the moment you say, this isn't passion, this is chaos. This isn't love, this is survival mode. You weaken its grip. Awareness turns unconscious habits into conscious choices. And conscious choices are where healing begins too. Relearn what safety feels like if you grew up in chaos. Your body doesn't recognize calm as safety. That means you have to teach it, slowly, gently. This doesn't happen overnight, but there are practices that can retrain your nervous system. Breathwork, deep, intentional breathing tells your body, we're safe now. Even 3 slow breaths can signal your nervous system to relax. Grounding, press your feet into the floor. Feel the support beneath you. Remind your body you're here, not back there. Somatic practices, gentle stretching, walking in nature, even placing a hand over your chest can regulate the nervous system. These are not small things. They're rewiring tools. Each moment of calm you create builds new pathways in your brain. 3. Redefine intimacy. For many people addicted to chaos, love and pain have been tangled together. Intensity has masqueraded as intimacy. Breaking the cycle means relearning what love actually is. Love is consistency. Love is safety. Love is someone showing up when they say they will. At first, that might feel boring, but boredom in this case is just your body detoxing from drama. With time, consistency will feel like peace, and peace will feel like home. For detach from drama-fueled environments, you can heal in the same environment that keeps feeding your addiction. That may mean stepping back from friendships built on gossip and crisis, turning off news cycles that keep your body in fight, or flight, limiting shows and media that glorify toxic relationships and conflict. This isn't about becoming numb or isolated. It's about creating enough space for your nervous system to recalibrate. 5. Build tolerance for calm. Here is the paradox. Peace won't feel peaceful at first. It will feel uncomfortable, empty, restless. So the work is to sit in it anyway. Try this. Give yourself 5 minutes of silence each day. No phone, no distractions. Just you, your breath, and the discomfort. At first, your mind will scream, this is boring, this is pointless. But if you stay with it, day after day, something shifts. The silence becomes less heavy. The calm becomes less foreign. This is how you build a tolerance for peace, one small dose at a time. 6. Therapy and healing practices. For many, professional help is key. Trauma-informed therapy, somatic experiencing, EMDR, or even support groups can give you the tools to untangle chaos at its roots. Because, let's be honest, these patterns often go deeper than self-help tips. They're scars left by childhood, reinforced over years. You don't have to carry them alone. 7. Rewrite the story. Chaos tells you a story that you're only alive when you're fighting, only valuable when you're fixing, only lovable when you're hurting. But you get to rewrite that story. You are not only worthy in crisis, you are not only lovable in chaos. You are not only alive when you're surviving, you are worthy of a life where calm is safe, where love is steady, where success doesn't have to be sabotaged. Here's the most important truth. Breaking the cycle of chaos is not about cutting out every storm. Life will always bring challenges, but healing means you stop creating storms of your own. It means you no longer mistake drama for passion, pain for love, or intensity for intimacy. It means you can finally rest in peace, not as a cliche, but as a lived reality. And once you taste that peace, truly taste it, chaos will never feel the same again. So let me leave you with this. If chaos has been your normal, it's not because you're broken. It's because your nervous system was trained to survive storms, and survival became your home. But home can change. Peace can feel safe again. Love can feel steady again. Success can stay in your hands without you dropping it. The work isn't easy. At first, .com will itch, stillness will sting, peace will feel like boredom. But remember this, boring is often just healing in disguise. And here's the question I want you to sit with. What if the chaos you've been clinging to isn't your identity, but just your history? Because the moment you stop confusing chaos with safety, you open the door to a new kind of life, one where you don't have to burn everything down just to feel alive. Take that with you tonight. Don't just listen to these words, watch your patterns this week. Notice the moments you reach for chaos. Notice when peace feels wrong. And instead of judging yourself, pause and whisper, "This is the old me. The new me is learning peace." This isn't about fixing yourself. You were never broken. This is about remembering what safety really feels like. And trust me, once you taste real peace, you'll never mistake chaos for home again. Asterisk, asterisk. I'm Dr. Miles Gray, and this is MindShift Note. Let's unearth what's really going on together.